Good evening, students and parents. I welcome you all for a very important examination oriented session for the 10th class science students. This is a live webinar, students. You can interact, you can talk with me and ask related questions. Here on the board, you can see student sample question paper for 2020-2021 for class 10th science 086 theory released by the CBSC. I would be solving this question today, students. And let us, before we do it, let us read the instructions given very slowly and clearly. Students, what strategy we have to follow, how to solve a question in the exam, and how much we have to write. These instructions are already there in the paper. And as the examination in the examination hall, students, papers are given to you. You get about 15 minutes time to study the general instructions and paper. During that time, student, we should read the entire paper. I would just see, for example, here he says class 10th, time 3 hours, maximum marks 80 student, general instruction. The question paper comprises four sections. There are four sections in the paper, student: A, B, C, and D. There are 36 questions in the question paper. All questions are compulsory. Section A, question number 1 to 20, all question and parts thereof are 1 mark. 1 to 20 means 20 into 120 marks. Students, multiple choice questions, very short question, and assertion reason type question. We will explain to you what is assertion and what is reason. And answers to these should be given in one word or one sentence. It's clear that you don't have to write unnecessarily, student. I will explain in this lecture everything. But the answer if for 1 to 20 only one word or one sentence. Not required more than that. So we must follow the instruction, students. Section B says, I am coming to section B. Question number 21 to 26 are short type questions carrying 2 marks, and answer should be range of 30 to 50 words. So you can see that maximum 2 lines, students, you have to write. Section 3, question 27 to 33 are short type carrying 3 marks. These are carrying 3 marks, student, 27 to 33. Answer should be in the range of 50 to 80 words, student, 2 to 3 lines maximum. So section D, question number 34 to 36 are long type, 5 marks. Answer to the question should be in the range of 80 to 120 words. There is no overall choice. However, internal choices have been provided in some questions. Student has to attempt only one of the alternatives in such questions. There is an internal choice which has been given, or so you can attempt either of the two. Whenever necessary, neat and properly labeled diagram should be drawn. Whenever necessary, students. Okay. So in this section, first, what I will do, student, I will scroll through. I will scroll through and see the read the entire paper. Read the entire paper, so that students, I know where which questions I know so well, and where I am 100% sure in all these questions. So if I go through the entire paper in 15 minutes, student, I will read it. As you can see, student, in this paper, you are getting some tables, you are getting some graphs, student, and you should know how to handle such question. If there is a graph, we should know what is the meaning of the graph. Questions are given on the basis of the graphs. So we have to answer question, student, as per the information which is provided. As you can see, here is a table, students. So we are already aware of this, that in the table form, what type of question. Again, you see there are graphs, student, x-axis and y-axis, atomic number, atomic radius. So we should have a practice of solving such questions. I always tell the students that when you read NCERT book, again, you see there is a diagram here. The diagram and some information is provided in the picture, student. When there are diagrams and some informations are given, then we should read it very carefully, and the questions will be based on whatever is written in this paragraph. And there is a diagram. There are two lenses, as you see, L1, L2. This is eyepiece, and then there is a image of the student. To the this is to the eye, and you see the image is given. So we should be able to read everything very clearly. It's a telescope. He says L1, L2 are the two lenses. So students, here is the first look at the entire paper. Student, again, is a graph magnetic field in the units are also given, magnetic field B empty and current in ampere. Student, so there are questions based on this graphs also. So okay, the first thing I have done, students, that in the first 15 minutes I have read the entire paper which is given to me in the board paper. Okay, and then I can attempt immediately those questions which are well known to me and I am 100% sure. So when I will start doing questions which I am 100% sure, then I get more and more confidence, my energy level boosts up, and slowly I start doing other questions. There where are doubtful questions, student, I will try to do them in the last. And again, in the revision section I will see that the doubts, wherever there were doubts, student, they are the right or the wrong. So all this process, student. So question 3 hours means I should be able to finish the entire in 2.5 hours, so that half an hour is left for the final revision, as there could be some errors, or uh, if I feel some doubts are there, I will try to solve them, or difficult questions are there, I will try to do if it is for me. I don't think there will be any difficulty, student, in answering these questions, student. So students, I am coming to the section A. Section A, student. As in the section A, student, the first question is on the screen. List any two observation when ferrous sulfate is heated in a dry test tube. I hope you understand from which chapter the question has been given. Student, you are aware that ferrous sulfate has got 7 water molecules. If you will study the NCERT book in the chemical equations, it is an example of thermal decomposition reaction. This is an example of what is this, student? Just to explain, I am explaining. This is not to be written, what I am trying to explain. Question number 1, I am explaining. Explanation is not to be written in the examination. It is for yourself. You already know that ferrous sulfate, student, this is a hydrated ferrous sulfate, and this is light green in color. You know about this. It is light green in color, student. And when you heat it, student, in a test tube, and it says in a dry test tube, this is an example of thermal decomposition reaction. It is an example of thermal decomposition reaction. So what happens when it undergoes thermal decomposition, student? First, the ferrous sulfate will become anhydrous and there will be a color change, student. This is white in color, student, or colorless. And further on heating, strong heating, what will happen, student? Further on strong heating, you know that it further undergoes decomposition. You are aware of it. What is it? It will decompose to give an oxide, solid oxide, student, which has reddish brown color, student, and the gases are evolved. Burning of sulfur smell is there. The gases are involved here. What you are getting, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide gases will be released. Therefore, this is just to explain, student, the experiment which has been done. Now, any observations which he says, give 2 observations. So what 2 observations I can give, student, in this case? In this case, what you already know, that here colorless gas, student, ठीक है, smell, burning sulfur smell evolved, burning sulfur smell is evolved. And second, I can say, student, so reddish brown, ठीक है, solid is formed. You have only to write 2 observations and 1 line. He says not more than that, so you can try to make it as short as possible. So there is the evolution of the gases. You can see colorless gas, but burning smell is there. Sulfur burning smell will be there, and there is a solid reddish, and there is a color change. Color change. You can say color change, or a simple. If I have to write only 2 answer, I may say that there is a colorless gas and there is a change in color. Change in color, student, as you see from light green to this. Second, or there is a choice, internal choice is given. Identify the products formed when 1 milliliter of dilute hydrochloric acid is added to 1 gram of sodium. Yeah, this means, student, you already know the reaction of metal plus acid. When metal reacts with acid, what is the metal here, student? Sodium metal. And it is reacting with dilute hydrochloric acid, means HCl, aqueous, student. So what will happen, student? Then you will get NaCl plus hydrogen gas, student, hydrogen gas. So you already know, student, what is happening here, that there is an evolution of hydrogen gas. So what are the products? You can write, student, NaCl plus H2. Okay? These are the products which will be formed. Write the chemical name and chemical formula of the salt used to remove permanent hardness of water. If I want to explain to you, student, explanation, answer is only one word or one line. Here is an explanation to understand the question, student. When you have read the NCERT book thoroughly, each and every word, student, each and every word of NCERT, each and every line, all the answers will be there. I am trying to decode. I am trying to decode each and every word, each and every line written in NCERT book. That is my job. And the answers are only one line or one word. He says, explain, student, the chemical formula. You know, the hardness of water is due to what, student? What is the hard water? The hardness of water means there are some calcium ions and magnesium ions, student. So it is a, what is saying, to permanent hardness of water, permanent hardness of water. So if you have calcium chloride or magnesium chloride, student, what you use, what we use, you know that washing soda, student. What is washing soda? What we use, student? Washing soda. What is the formula of that? Na2CO3 10H2O, student. This is a decahydrate. What happens, that this reacts with calcium and it will form CaCO3. A solid precipitate will be formed and we can filter and remove these ions. We can filter and remove these ions. So the answer of this is Na2CO3 10H2O, student. The common name is washing soda. And what is this? This is sodium carbonate decahydrate. Sodium carbonate deca 10. There are 10 water molecules hydrate. Okay, only this is to be written in the paper. These are explanation, students, which I give in order to help you understand the question. Question number 3 is on the screen, student. Which of the following is not observed? Read each and every question, each and every line, each and every word very carefully, students, because you could be tricked. Be very careful. Not observed in homologous series. Give reason for your choice. Explanation. Explanation. What is a homologous series, student? Explanation. You can open your NCERT book and you see what is a homologous series, student. Homologous series. You have seen compounds which have the same functional group. Compounds which have the same functional group, student. They have the same functional group, student. Belong to the same functional group. If you have alcohols, you have alkanes, you have alkenes. They have the same functional group, student. Alkenes, they have double bond. Then they differ by CH2. Each successive member differ by CH2, which will mean 12 plus 2. What will be the mass? 14 U molecular mass difference. Okay? We already know that. We already know that, student. This is what is there in homologous series. Therefore, student, what will happen? That they not observed, not observed. What will not be observed in this case, student? You will see that when the mass changes, functional group is same. If functional group is same, student, the chemical properties are not going to change. Chemical properties do not change when the functional group is same, students. Compounds which are the same functional group have the same chemical property. So what is not observed is a change in the chemical properties. The answer will be A, student. Our answer is A. So read it carefully. You already know what is the meaning of homologous series and just write it. The question whether what is observed or what is not observed, there is a difference, student. because homologous series will have the same chemical properties. Their chemical properties are same because the functional group is same. Therefore, we know their chemical properties are same, students. Therefore, there will be gradation physical property. They have the same functional group that we know, student. Difference is for TU. That is also right. What is not observed. So, okay. Question number 4 on the screen, student. Why does the sun appear white at noon? Why there is a color, student? The sun rays are falling. The observer on the earth, there is an atmosphere. There is an atmosphere. So, when the sun rays are falling, there is a scattering of light. If the scattering of light is large, student, sky appears blue and the sun appears reddish. But at noon, what happens? At noon, what happens? At noon, what is happening, student? At noon, the sun is overhead. The sun is overhead. Explanation. These are explanations. Answer you have to write very short. At noon, student, sun is overhead. Overhead, student. ठीक है? And the sun will be traveling, student, the least distance. So will travel, sun overhead will travel shorter distance. Will travel shorter distance, student. Where it will travel the shortest distance, student, in the your atmosphere. ठीक है? In atmosphere. The result will be there will be the least scattering in this case. ठीक है? This is a case of the least scattered. So the light will be least scattered. The color is due to the scattering of light. The light is least scattered. So the blue and violet colors are least scattered. Therefore, the sun will appear white. But I am saying answer, the light is least scattered. So the blue and violet color are least scattered. Therefore, what will happen? It will appear at noon, student, white. It will appear at noon and 9 student. In the NCERT book, you will see there is a picture to explain. This has been given, very important. This, for example, this is the observer, student. Here is our atmosphere, student. And this is the sun at noon. You can see this is my sun at noon, student. And this is the shortest distance. This is traveling the shortest distance. This is our atmosphere. At noon, student. So least scattered. This is least scattered. The blue light is least scattered, student, during this period of time. So it will appear white. But at near horizon, what will happen? If the sun is near horizon, question could be, if different question is put, if sun is at horizon. When the sun is at horizon, what will happen? Student, you can see that. So you can see that now it travels, student, at sunrise, or at sunset. Question in the paper could be changed like this. What will happen? At sunrise or sunset, student, the distance which it is traveling is maximum. So will travel longer distance. ठीक है? Sun will travel longer distance, student. Sun passes thicker layers of air and larger distance in Earth's atmosphere. Sun travels, students, or passes thicker layers of air. Thicker layers of the earth, of the atmosphere, thicker layers of air, thicker layers of the air, and larger distance, and travels larger distance. ठीक है? Larger distance in the atmosphere. So the result will be, student. So at horizon, what will happen? The sun will scatter the light, student. The blue sky will appear blue, and the sun will appear red, because at this time there is a maximum scattering of light. So the blue light is scattered, the sky becomes blue, student, and the sun looks reddish. Sun looks reddish. So blue and sun looks reddish during this period of time. If a question is changed, then we know this. You can see the NCERT book. They have explained it by a diagram, students. So at the noon, the least distance is traveled, student. Least scattering takes place of the blue light. So the sun appears white to us. Question number 5 is on the screen, student. Both spherical mirror and thin spherical lens have focal length of -15. What type of mirror and lens are those, student? Explanation. Explanation, student. If you see that this is my concave mirror, student. This is the, you already know the diagram, student. This is the pole. And student, what happens? Where is the focus of this concave mirror? Focus is on this side, student. This is the focus, the real focus, F. Now you know this side is positive, student. Positive. This side of the axis on the right side, right hand side, positive, on the left hand side, negative. So concave mirror has a negative focus. And let us see the concave lens, student. If you have this, student, this is our principal axis, optical center, student, optical center. And what happens if a ray of light comes, student? Where is the focus? It has a virtual focus. This is a focus, student. Similarly, you have another. What happens, student? Where is the focus? So F dash. This is the focus of a concave lens, student. This side, this is negative, and this is positive. You already know from the pole. Right hand side is positive, taken as positive. Left hand side is a convention. You already know in light. Therefore, the answer of this, which you have to write in the paper, what type of mirror? Concave mirror. What type of lens is this, students? Concave lens. That's all. Answer is complete. The image formed by a concave mirror is observed to be real, inverted, larger than object. Where is the object placed? This is important that there will be questions on image formation, and please read the carefully how the images are formed, student. Here is saying image is to be real, inverted, and larger than. So explanation, this was my question number 5. So let me explain question number 5, explanation of question number 6. How will you explain, student? This is our concave mirror, student. You already know that. How do you draw this? Optical center, this is my F, double of this is my this. So if I put an object between F and C, student, what happens? How you draw the images, students? Now what is type of image is being formed, student? You can see that this image will be. So if the object is between C and F, student, the image will be where? So you have to place the object between F and C, student. Then the image will be, you can see, inverted. This is my AB, student. This is my A. This is inverted image, larger in size than this, larger in size than this object, and is real image. So this object should be between F and 2F, F and 2F, as you can see here. Name the part of the lens through which a ray of light passes without suffering any deviation. This or choice, student. Explanation. What explanation is there? Lens. This is my lens, convex lens, student. So this point is the point, student, what we call as optical center. Optical center, student. When the ray of light will pass through it, it will go straight. Similarly, you can see the concave lens, students. This is the optical center, student, and any light ray passes through it will go straight. So the answer is optical center. Name the part of the lens, student. Name the part of the lens. So answer is Optical center. I hope you are with me, students. You understand that I will give complete explanations to you. And the purpose is that you should go back and revise the NCRT book, student, each and every line. It's very important. The questions are based on this. Now we are coming to another interesting question, student. What he says, student, read the question carefully. In an arrangement shown in the figure, there are two coils. Coil one, I will, this is in the book you have seen, in the NCRT book you have seen coil one. This is your primary coil, student. I am calling this primary coil. There is a coil 2, students, coil 2. That is my secondary coil, student. So what is happening? In the arrangement, there are two coils wound on a non-conducting non-conducting cylindrical rod. The rod is non-conducting. Rod is not conducting, non-conducting. Initially, the key is not inserted. Later, the key is inserted and then removed shortly after. What are the two observations that can be noted from the galvanometer? So, guys, you can tell me. This is taken from which part, student? You have studied electromagnetic induction. We studied explanation. I am giving explanation, student. What you have studied? Electromagnetic induction, student. You know that there very important thing, you students, that Hans Christian Ørsted was a man who gave relationship between electricity and magnetism. Student, what happens when a current is passed through a wire? He said that it produces a magnetic field. The deflection was seen in the compass needle by the Ørsted. So here, when the key will be key, if you will put a key, the current will start moving, and as the current goes inside this, there will be a field, magnetic field, which will be produced, student. And when the magnetic field changes, student, what happens? It induces a magnetic field, changing magnetic field in coil 2 also. The result will be that when there will be change, student, when as the current in the first changes, magnetic field associated with also changes. When the current in the coil 1 changes, the magnetic field also changes, and this will induce a magnetic field in coil 2. If it is changes, it will also change, student. And then as the magnetic field changes, it will induce a current. What it will induce a current, student, in this, and galvanometer will show a reading. But what happens? You have inserted the key immediately, then there is a change in magnetic field, change in magnetic field current. But as you remove it, what happens? Again, there is a change in magnetic field, but it dies shortly because you have removed the current then. So what observations you are going to observe? Okay, you see the explanation, what I am talking, student. The magnetic field associated with it changes, the magnetic field will be induced also changes, and this it will induce, student, a momentary current in the circuit. So what you will observe, basically, you will see, student, there will be momentary deflection in galvanometer. You will observe momentary deflection, student, momentary deflection in the galvanometer, student. Galvanometer is an instrument which is used to read the current. Galvanometer, student, which will die, shortly, student, die shortly. And the deflections will be in the opposite direction. You will observe deflections in opposite direction. Momentary deflections in opposite directions. In opposite directions. So you know the people who were associated with it, Ørsted, he observed that when electric current is passed through a wire carrying a current, magnetic field is induced. And then Faraday has studied uh, the laws of electromagnetic induction. They both are being applied here, students. So this is our answer. Okay. Question number 8. Draw the magnetic lines, field lines around a straight current carrying conductor. Okay, student. You know that already, know, student. If this is a conductor, student, straight current carrying conductor. If the current direction is this, if this is the current direction, if this is the current direction, then what rule is given, student? You have heard about right hand thumb rule. What it says, student? If I put my thumb in the direction of the current, then the fingers, student, what the fingers are saying? Fingers will wrap around the conductor in the direction of the field lines of the magnetic field. So when a current is passed through conductor, magnetic field is produced, and we can use the right hand thumb rule. Uh, this is the thumb, student. Then the direction of the magnetic lines of the field are wrapped in the fingers. So then I know already about this. What is happening? The current is going in this direction, student. This is my current I. Then you know that there are concentric circles, student. Concentric circles. ठीक है? Magnetic lines are concentric circles. Magnetic lines are concentric circles, students. Magnetic lines are concentric circles, and the direction of the current is given by the fingers in which the direction they are wrapping. Thumb is in the direction of the current, student. So we can draw these lines, students. So arrows show the direction of the field line. Arrow shows the direction of the. So magnetic lines are concentric circles. He says draw. So I have drawn. There's no explanation required. Only for your satisfaction, I am explaining that what is happening. Magnetic lines are concentric circles, student. Arrows show the direction of the field, and I am using right hand thumb rule, student. Direction of the current. Thumb is the direction of the current. Fingers will wrap around the conductor in the direction of the field lines of magnetic field. All right. Next question is on the screen, students. This was our question 8, student. Question 9, student. Let me see the explanation of question 9. Explanation, student. Two unequal resistances are connected in parallel. Okay? If you are not provided with any numerical values of I, R, what can be said about the voltage drop across the two resistors? What do you mean by this, student? There is a resistance. There's another resistance, student. Okay? Now they are. This is our V, student. Potential difference. If you have R1 and R2 two resistors, what will happen, student, in the same resistance? When they resistances are in parallel, I1 is equal to I2 plus. If this is I1, this is I2, then I is equal to I1 plus I2, student. The V remains the same. So what will be the result of that, student? In other words, student, the voltage drop will be same across the two resistors. What is there? Voltage drop will be same across the two resistors because they are in parallel. Choice, explanation of the choice, student. Now explanation of the choice. What is the question, student? Some work is done to move a charge Q from infinity to a point, student. A in space. Work is done. The potential of the point A is given as V. Okay? At point A, student, the potential is given as V. Potential is given as V. What is the work done to move this charge from infinity in terms of Q? Something is at infinity, you are moving at this. So what is the work done, student? You already know. What is the definition of potential difference, student? Potential difference V is nothing but what is the work done in moving the charge. So work done in moving the unit charge is potential difference, student. So then what is the work done? Then work done W is equal to, student, Q into V. So this is the formula. You already know about it. This is the answer that he wanted to know the formula. W is equal to Q into V, student. Okay. Next question is coming on the screen, student. Veins are thin walled and have walls, student. What are veins, student? Explanation. What are veins, student? Veins. Question number 10. Question number 10, student. What are the veins, student? Veins carry blood from other parts of the body to arteries. ठीक है, parts of the body to arteries. The organs does not pump the blood, hence pressure is lower. What is important? Pressure is lower. So vein present in the body that carry blood back to the heart, student. Veins are the thin walled and have, ठीक है, so the pressure is lower, therefore veins are thin. Pressure, pressure, student. In this case, the pressure of blood is lower. Pressure of blood is lower, student. When the pressure of blood is lower, therefore the veins are thin walled. Therefore they are thin walled. 1 point. The pressure is lower. Pressure is lower and have walls to ensure blood flows in one direction. Why there are walls, students? So that the blood flows in one direction, so that it doesn't go back. It doesn't go back, student, in one direction. In one direction. So these walls prevent blood from flowing back in the wrong direction. They prevent the flow of blood back, student, in the wrong direction. That's important. So we don't one line answers they are asking, so we will keep only that much, student. No need to write so much. Okay. Okay. Next question, student 11. How is the wall of small intestine adapted for performing the function of absorption of the food, student? What happens, student? Absorption, the inner lining of small intestine, the inner lining of small intestine. What it has, student? Um, um, they have a finger-like projection called villi. The inner lining, student, the inner lining of small intestine, ठीक है, intestine have numerous finger-like projections. Have numerous finger-like projections called, what are they called, student? Called the villi. Villi. What they do, student? Just like a carpet, they increase the surface area for absorption. They increase surface area for absorption. For absorption. So the food is will be digested, student, because there are large number of such finger-like projections, and the surface area becomes larger. Larger the surface area, the better is the absorption. So this will important for the digestion of the food, student, digestion of the food. And further, or choice is there, student, or choice is there. What is the or choice? Then what I am saying, the numerous finger-like projection in small intestine are called whale. Their function is to increase surface area of inner lining so that maximum absorption of digested food takes place. When the surface area becomes larger, the maximum absorption of the digested food will take place. Our goat and tiger, student, which one have a larger and small intestine? Justify, student. You see that here our answer is, student, goat and tiger. Goat, student, goat is what? Herbivore. Goat is herbivores, student, herbivores. The herbivores animals, what they need, student? Needs longer intestine, because herbivores, they consume plants, students. Consume plants. They consume plants, and the plants have got cellulose, and this needs, student, to be, this needs longer intestine. Intestine, ठीक है, intestine, ठीक है, to be digested. To be digested. You see that what they are eating, grass and all that, that is cellulose. So cellulose will need longer time to get digested. So their intestine, the intestine of goat will be larger. And tiger, you know what are these? They are carnivores. These are carnivores. These are herbivores. They are not eating those cellulose type of food, students. So they don't have a longer intestine. So this is clear. Uh, okay. Next question, students. Explain how ozone, being deadly poison, can still perform an essential function for the environment. Explanation. First, O3, if it is present in our atmosphere, student, what will happen? If the ozone is present in troposphere layer of the Earth, in the atmosphere in which I am living, what will happen, student? It will cause damage our lung tissues. It damages the lung tissues. Therefore, it is poison. But when ozone is present in the upper layer, student, it is present in stratosphere. It absorbs, student, harmful ultraviolet radiations. Okay? And therefore, student, it is very important. If ultraviolet radiation will reach us, then it will damage our skin and will cause cancer. So you can see that how it is important. So, but in the our atmosphere, if it is present, it will damage the lung tissue, and also plants will be damaged and damage the plants. Okay, this is the explanation for this, student, how it is deadly, student. What is the or choice, student? What is the or choice? What is says? Give a reason why a food chain cannot have more than 4 trophic levels. Food chain, sun, green plants. Green plants are eaten by the animal, student. So herbivores by carnivores. So this process continues. But what will happen, student? The important is, as you progress through 4 trophic levels, as you progress through 4 trophic levels, what will happen? Their energy will be wasted, student. Large energy is wasted. So what will happen? The energy is being wasted in everything, even and by the fourth trophic level, most of the energy is wasted from the food chain. From the food chain, student, and very less usable energy remains. So when energy will not be there, then what is the use? Then it is over. So the food chain cannot have more than 4 traffic level. After that, it doesn't have energy. There's no energy in it. Okay, this was our 12th question, student. Question number 13. Say 13 is on the screen, student. The question number 13 is coming on the screen, student. They state the role of pancreas in the digestion of the food, student. What are these pancreas doing, student? Pancreas secretes digestive juice. What this pancreas did? They secrete digestive juice. There are enzymes inside the pancreas which are secreted, that are required for the digestion of the food, or food cannot be digested without enzymes, students. So what we call as, they secrete digestive juice, which contains enzymes, which contains enzymes, ठीक है, like trypsin, like trypsin. What the enzymes do, student? For digesting proteins and lipids. For digesting, this is required for digesting, student, proteins which you are eating, and what else you are taking? Lipids, and break down, and they will break, student, and they will and break the uh, emulsified fats. They break the emulsified fats which you are eating. So this is the role of this, student. Okay, so important, student, important. So it is important, student. How will you answer, student? Assertive and reasoning type of question. Assertive and reasoning type of question. देखो, very important that this you should read it very clearly, student. Read very thoroughly. I'm saying read thoroughly assertive and reasoning type of question, because you must know, student, how to solve them. There are, let us see what is the question. 14, 15, 16, two statements are given. One, assertion is nothing but a statement of facts. What is assertion? Facts. The statement, if it is true or false, the statement can be true and a false. And reason here is a statement that can be true or false, but the reason could be the correct explanation for A, or the reason for A, or it cannot be the reason for A. Select the correct answer to question from codes A, B, C, and D. What are the four choices given? Both A and A are correct. So first is assertion is correct, reason is correct, and reason R is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay. Number two, he says both A and A are correct. Assertion is correct, reason is correct, but R is not the explanation for the assertion. R has nothing to do with the assertion, but it itself is a correct statement. Think about it. Think. You have to think, student. Paper needs thinking. Relax, student. Concentrate. Focus. Think. Then you can answer the question. No mugging. Mugging is out nowadays. All thinking. Third, A is true, but R is false. Fourth, A is false, but R is true. The last one is so the trick. What is the trick, student? See, the last choice, if assertion is wrong, if assertion is wrong, student, then you will tick mark the D always. Always D. This is learn the trick, student. I will read the, if assertion is wrong, then I don't have to do anything. Just D. This is the easiest number 1 point. Number 2 point, if assertion is true, and reason is false, then you will tick the C. They are the both easiest. Only problem will come in A and B. That is where we have to think. Let us see the questions now. So assertion is wrong, then simple D is the answer, no issue. Assertion is right, reason is wrong, the answer is C, no problem. But A and B are the choices where we have to think, student. Let us see question number 14, student. Question number 14, he says, after whitewashing the walls, a shiny white finish on the wall is obtained after 2 or 3 days. You already know this. Whitewash, how do you do whitewash? There is a tuna, tuna, calcium oxide, they put in water and then they put a layer in the wall. You will see after 2 or 3 days, there is a white layer which is formed, student, because there is a carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. It combines with CaO and produces CO3. The assertion is correct. Here I am writing assertion is true. Okay. He says calcium oxide reacts with carbon dioxide. That is also right. To form calcium hydrogen carbonate, this is wrong. Calcium hydrogen carbonate, no, that is a calcium carbonate which is formed. Student, see the reaction. See the reaction. Assertion is true. Reason is wrong. Then what is our answer, student? I told you A is true, R is false. Our answer is C. Only you have to write C, student. Answer in the paper. Answer is C, students. Be careful. Read the questions very thoroughly and properly, students. Thoroughly and properly. Okay. Food chain is responsible for the entry of harmful chemicals in the body. That assertion is true, students. The length and complexity of the food chain varies. That is also true, student. Okay, that is also true. But this is not the reason for A. This is not the reason. Okay, this is not the reason, correct explanation for the assertion, student. Therefore, student, the answer for this will be what, student? Here our answer is then B. Our answer is B in this case, or the choice is now given, student. When the choice is given, student, then what is our answer, student? What is our answer? Greater number of individuals are present in the greater number of individuals are present in the lower trophic level. That is true. The flow of energy is unidirectional, student, unidirectional. ठीक है? The flow of energy is unidirectional. That is also true, but this is not the correct explanation for this student. Then the answer of this will be what student B. A genetist crossed a pea plant having violet flowers with the pea plant, while he got all the violet flower in the first generation. That is true, student. White color genes is not passed on to the next generation. That is also true. So this is also the reason for this. The answer is A, student. Okay. So assertion and reasoning questions can be easily done on this basis. Can be easily done on this basis, students. So why you have to read everything very clearly, student, and then you answer the questions. Now he's saying read the following and answer any four questions from 17, 1 to 4, 1 is to 4. This question, there are four questions. Out of the 5, you have to answer only 4 questions. Each is carrying 1 marks. You have to read the statement very carefully, students, and answer the question from the NCERT book. All living cells require energy for various activities. Yes, of course. Energy, without energy, can any cell function? No. This energy is available for the breakdown of simple carbohydrates. That is right. Either using oxygen or without using oxygen. You have seen aerobic and anaerobic processes are there. Aerobic requires oxygen, anaerobic do not require oxygen. You are familiar with this, student. So energy in the case of higher plant and animal is obtained by this breathing, no. Tissue respiration, yes. Tissue respiration, you know what is happening in the plant, student. There is a tissue respiration process which takes place. So student, correct answer is B. B is the correct answer. The graph below represents the blood lactic concentration of an athlete during the race of a 400-meter and shows a peak at a point D. Athletes are running. So what is happening when the athletes run? The blood of an athlete was tested before, during, and after 400-meter. This is the blood lactic acid. When they are running, student, you know what is happening. The lactic acid is being produced, student. The lactic acid is being produced in such cases. You are aware of that, student. So the what is the result of this, student? What he says, lactic acid production has occurred in the field while running in the 400-meter. Which of the following processes explain this event? Aerobic, ठीक है, respiration, student. Aerobic respiration, ठीक है. This was tested. What we observe, student. Anaerobic respiration, fermentation is wrong. Breathing is wrong. Aerobic respiration, anaerobic. What type of respiration is this, student? When athletes are running, even the graph is not required for this. You know why you are running, what is happening. So there is a respiration, student. Oxygen is involved in that. Anaerobic means no oxygen. So the answer of this will be what, student? Aerobic respiration. Answer will be A, student. Answer will be A. Even this graph doesn't need to be consulted for this question. You already know about it. Third question, he says study the graph below and represent the amount of energy supplied with respect to time while an athlete is running at a full speed. Student, athlete, there is an athlete. Okay. So energy supplied, student. Plot B and plot A. You can see in plot B what is happening. The energy supplied is increasing and then it is dropping. It is decreasing. It is decreasing. This graph reaches a maxima and then falls. In this case, what do you find? The red one, plot A. This is increasing and then it becomes uniform. When respect to when that this is a time period. So after 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, what is happening, student? The energy supply is increasing, then it becomes constant in the 3. It becomes constant. But here, after 2 minutes, it is decreasing. You see the energy supplied is decreasing. This is a time in minutes. The graph is between. Choose the correct combination of plots and justification provided. Now he has given a table along with plot A, plot B, and justifications. Plot A, plot. What is the plot A, student? What is plot A? What is the plot A, student? In this plot A says plot A is aerobic. Plot A is aerobic, students. ठीक है? And plot B is anaerobic. Okay. Amount of energy is low and inconsistent in aerobic. That is wrong. Amount of energy is low and inconsistent and high. This is wrong. Plot A is aerobic. That is correct because you can see the energy is increasing and it becomes constant after that. And plot B is anaerobic. That is also correct. The energy reaches maxima then fall. Amount of energy is high and consistent in aerobic. That is absolutely right, student. This is aerobic energy is consistent, is high and then consistent, and low in anaerobic. That is, you can see it drops down. This is the correct choice. This is the correct choice, student. Our answer here is B. Okay, answer is B, students. Next, the characteristics processes observed in anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration. What are anaerobic respiration, student? One is aerobic respiration and anaerobic. In anaerobic, presence of oxygen, no. Presence of oxygen is in aerobic. This is not true. Release of carbon dioxide, yes. Release of energy, release of all these three are correct, student. So which is the correct choice then, student? Which is the correct choice in this case, student? So what is the correct choice? You can see answer will be B, student. 2, 3 and 4. No, what is the answer? 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4, student, are correct. 2, 3 and 4 are correct in this case, student. In such cases, okay, what are the answers? So our answer will be, student, what is this are correct. Where are these? 2 is correct, 3 is correct, 4th answer is C. Answer is C, student. You are aware of the difference between aerobic and anaerobic. And anaerobic oxygen intake is not there. It is happening without oxygen. Therefore, the first one is wrong. But all the three are correct. All the three are correct, students. All the three are correct, student. Next, study the table below and select the row that has incorrect information. Incorrect information. Now, make it sure that he is saying incorrect, not the correct information, student. Study the table. Okay? And first one, location, cytoplasm, mitochondria, end product, carbon dioxide and water. In aerobic carbon dioxide and water, and in anaerobic ethanol and carbon dioxide. Amount of ATP is high, low. That is also correct. Then what is the incorrect statement? In aerobic, oxygen is needed. Study the table below and select the row which has incorrect information. Incorrect information. Correction. Incorrect. He's saying. Okay. So what is our answer, student? Location, cytoplasm, mitochondria, and product, aerobic carbon dioxide and water. This also is okay. Okay. And amount of ATP is high and anaerobic is low. Aerobic needed oxygen, anaerobic oxygen is not needed. So the answer will be E, student. Location, cytoplasm, mitochondria. He is asking incorrect, not the correct information. All right, student. Now we are coming to question number 18. Student, question number. Read the following and answer any four questions from 18. The metallic character. Now he is given a paragraph, student, and questions are based on that. The ability of an atom to donate electron form positive ion is known as electropositive. That we already know. Electropositive means the metal can give electrons. Any metal, if it gives electrons, students, what happens? Mn plus n electrons. Then it is electropositive. Electropositive, you know that. Okay, that is what is we say metallic character. Metallic character. And you know sodium, potassium, lithium, magnesium. The in the periodic table, student alkali metals they lose the electrons very readily. And what happens? Down the group, metallic character increases due to increase in atomic size. Very good. As you go down the group, what happens? Student explanation. Explanation. I'm explaining to you. Answer I will give later. As you go down the group, size increases. And when size will increase, size of the atoms increases, student, in any group. If I take lithium, sodium, potassium, the size is increasing. The electron is going away from the nucleus, and they will become more metallic. Correct? Metallic character increases. Metallic character increases. Across the period from right to left decreases, but as you go from in the period, student, period is from left to right. Okay? Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. If you go hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. As you go in the period, the size decreases, and what will happen when the size will decrease? Electron will come closer to the nucleus. Therefore, the their electropositivity decrease. Correct. Non-metallic character. What is non-metallic? The ability of atom to accept electrons to form negative ion is called non-metallic character or electron. You know, halogens are most electronegative because they attract the electron. They have one sort of octet and they are very electronegative elements. They will form negative ions. Negative ions. You know, if I have Cl, it will gain electron to form Cl minus. So they are electronegative. They have high electronegativity, higher tendency to gain electron and form anions. Negatively charged atom is called an ion, student. Down the group, electronegativity decreases, and due to increase in atomic size, across the period from left to right, electronegativity increases. So read the paragraph carefully, student. Read the paragraph carefully. First point, student. You can see that this question has been taken from NCERT paragraph. If those students who have read the NCERT, they can easily answer this question very clearly, student. Now you are given a graph, student. Atomic radius and atomic number. Atomic number is increasing, and this is your atomic radius. So lithium, sodium, potassium. This is our first group 1 element, student. So it is increasing. It is increasing. So which of the following correctly represent a decreasing order of metallic character? What we said in the paragraph. Size increasing, metallic character increases. So if I consider the first one, student, and you don't even see this first, you know, which has the largest size? Cesium. Cesium is larger in size, student, than rubidium. Rubidium is larger in size than potassium. Potassium is larger in size than sodium. Sodium is larger in size than lithium, student. So larger the size, more the metallic character. So which is the correct choice, student? Then this is our correct choice. Match with which it is coming. What I said, larger the size, student. ठीक है? More the metallic character. It is written in the paragraph, student. Metallic. So which are the following represent the decreasing order of the metallic character? Decreasing order. These are the highest. These are the least decreasing order metallic character. So what is the correct answer, student? Then which is matching C here? Answer is C, student, as you can see that. Question number 18, the second part, student. Hydrogen is placed along the alkali metals in the modern periodic table, though it shows non-metallic. Non-metals are those which can gain electrons. Metals are those which can give the electrons. So if any element can give the electron, it will be placed in the metallic. So what is the correct out of the four? As hydrogen has one electron and readily loses one electron to form the negative ion. Readily loses to form the negative ion. If it loses electron, can it form the negative ion? No. Hydrogen can easily lose one electron like to form positive ion. Yes. If it is like this, then hydrogen, if hydrogen loses electron, student, then what will happen? H plus and E. Alkali metals do what? They also form Na plus E. This is alkali metal, right? Explanation. This is the explanation, student. Not the answer. You have to write only one. So B is the correct answer. I don't have to even go further, student. Once I get the correct answer, it is over in the exam. That is the trick. I don't go further. Hydrogen can lose one electron like alkali metal to form a positive ion. It is a positive ion, student. Positive ion, not a negative ion. That is the correct answer. Which of the following has highest electronegativity, student? Or you already know that what happens to the electronegativity, student? Electronegativity increases as you move across the period and decreases down the group. So in this as you go down the group, electronegativity decreases. So which is the first one, student? This halogen family, you have seen the halogens. Group 17, student, in the periodic table: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. You know electronegativity decreases. Electronegativity decreases, students, down the group due to increase in size. So answer is A, student. Answer is A. Our answer is A, fluorine. So students, see how you can answer the questions. Further, identify the reason for gradual change in electronegativity in halogens. In halogen, student, you have to identify the what happens. Electronegativity increases down the group due to decrease in atomic size. Is the atomic size decreasing down the group? Answer is no. Electronegativity decreases down the group due to decrease in tendency. Due to decrease in tendency, lose. Electronegativity is not related with loss of electron. That is also wrong. Electronegativity decreases down the group due to increase in atomic radius. Due to increase in atomic radius, due to atomic radius is increasing. That is correct. Tendency to gain electron decreases. That is wrong, student. Okay. Electronegativity increases down the group due to increase in forces of attraction. Due to increase in forces of due to increase in forces of attraction between the nucleus and electron increases down the group due to increase in forces of attraction down the group due to increase in force between the nucleus and the valence electrons. The valence electron. Okay. So electronegativity increases. यहाँ पे था electronegativity. Read it very carefully because there could be some doubt. Electronegativity decreases down the group. That is correct. Due to increase in atomic radius. Atomic radius. So tendency to gain electron decreases. Tendency to gain electron decreases, student. That is correct here. So answer is C. Which of the following reason correctly justifies that fluorine 72 picometer has smaller atomic radius than lithium? Which period are they? They are in the same period. And across the period, what happens? Electronegativity decreases. Down the group, electronegativity decreases. So fluorine and lithium are in the same group. They are not in the same group. Fluorine and lithium are in the same period. That is correct. Atomic size increases across the period. Atomic size is not increasing across the period, student. Fluorine and lithium are in the same group. They are not in the same group, student. Then fluorine, lithium, the same period. They are correct. And across the period, atomic size radius decreases. That is the correct answer. Then D is the correct answer. D is the correct answer, students. So what I'm trying to explain, student, that we have to read the questions very, very carefully. Then only I can answer the question. As you will see, students, questions can only be answered after we read it, students. I hope we have already taken, student, more than 1 hour and have been able to solve, student, uh, a large number of questions of section A, and I am stopping here, students. Then I will continue to solve more questions of this in my second lecture, student. So you be with me in for my next webinar, in which I will solve the next part of the questions, because you can see this is a 3 hours paper, students, and I am trying to give explanations for each and every question. My purpose is, student, to tell you how to answer questions in the paper. You have to write as per the instructions given. You will take more time in reading a question, understanding a question, than answering a question, student. That is the secret. If you don't understand a question, you can never answer a question, student. So read the question very carefully, understand the question, and then you decide the answer. And there are tricks which I'm trying to tell you in reasoning and assertion. So the graphs are given, student. We have to study the graph, and then we have to answer the questions. Sometimes the graphs are given, but they are not even required. Oh, we have some knowledge, we can apply that to give the answer. All this is possible, student. And once you get the correct answer, we don't go further in, because our job is done. We don't want to waste time in our exam, students. And reading the general instruction, the first 15 minutes, you get a complete idea what type of paper is there, which questions you are very confident, you already know, you go for that first, and then we will take the doubt questions and difficult questions in the second part. And you will have plenty of time to do the questions, I'm saying. But when you read it, student, read it, it may look long. The longer it looks, the easier the question will be, I want to tell you. So read everything carefully, study the graphs which are given very carefully, any information which is given. On that basis, our answers are coming. So you don't have to do mugging and everything. Those students who have followed NCERT, read it thoroughly, and understood the basic definitions, basic concepts, they will learn it, student. They will get 100 of the 100 marks. So relax, read the NCERT thoroughly, and students, Re read the question carefully, each and every word, each and every line. Give your answers short. I am explaining, so I am giving you broader view. And okay, good night, student. Then I will see you in my next class, when I will solve the second part of this sample paper of 10th science, which is released by the NCR. Good night, and my best wishes to all the students, 10th class science. You can, if you think, believe, and act, you can score 100 out of 100. Hard work, practice, and concentration, focus is required. Even this 1 month is there with you. Papers are starting. So you can improve your grades, you can improve your performance, and try to score full marks in the science paper. Thank you. Good night and take care. Sleep well. And students, keep yourself healthy and fit during exams. Bye bye, dear students and parents. I'll see you in my next lecture.